This Bionicle creation might just be my favorite mock of 2024. It's packed full of mind-blowing details, brilliant techniques, and clever ways of using pieces that I would have never thought of before. In this video, let's take a deep dive and look at all of the intricate workings of this creation. Hopefully taking a closer look at how this thing is built will give you a little bit of inspiration and get you excited to build your next Bionicle mock. Let's check it out. This wonderful creation was built by the insanely talented Brandon Builds. Now, if you're not familiar with this character, their name is Artakha. Now, this dude is a very important character within the Bionicle story. He's an ancient and powerful craftsman who wears the incredible Mask of Creation. Among many other feats, this dude has created the Toa Mata, the armor and the masks for the Makuta, and even vehicles like the Axelara T9, and the other vehicles that debuted alongside this one. Artakha's awesome. There is actually semi-official artwork for this character. Here it is side by side with Brandon's mock. Now, I really appreciate Brandon taking this character in a new direction, giving him a new aesthetic, and a new color scheme too. And I think this new look is very fitting for the character. Artakha is an old and powerful dude, and all of these exposed wires and pistons and gears. It gives off an ancient robotic look. It's also very reminiscent of the gear functions that we see on the very first Toa sets, the Toa Mata. I love seeing justification for design choices like this. It's sick. Sure, the piston-focused look is pretty and all that, but when it makes sense for who the character is, that makes it even better. And actually, let's take a look at some of these pistons and wires and things like that. The waist design uses some of these worm gear pieces and wraps rubber bands around them. Isn't that so cool? This and the large brown whip piece that links into the torso, they really do look like wires. Teeny tiny details like this, they're the kind of things that are so easy to just not include in a mock. They're easy to ignore. But when you go the extra mile and you include them in a design, it adds so much. There's something about that wire and gear focused aesthetic that's just so much in the vein of classic Bionicle. It's brilliant. The base of the waist also looks pretty cool. Nice touch to use some of those macaroni pipe pieces to round off the edges of the torso. Yeah, this is another Lego piece here that we see appearing in a lot of really good Bionicle creations. It's worth grabbing some if you don't own any. You actually get a few of them in a very modern Lego Dreams set. Maybe it's worth buying this set just to get some of these pieces. Well, not just for those pieces, the rest of the parts in this set are also pretty good. It's a nice little parts pack. Now, back to Artakha. Stemming off some of these pipes, we can see some of these studs with angled bars coming off of them. Funnily enough, these pieces don't come in red and blue, but they do appear in dark red and dark blue. But it's funny, when you tuck them away inside the torso a little bit more, you can hardly tell that it's a different shade. They fit right in. I'm sure you noticed this half and half red and blue on the mock, as well as a little hint of yellow tucked into the middle of the torso. Why these colors? Well, Brandon said the reason he did this is because he wanted them to represent the primary colors. And you know, these colors are used to create everything. I like that. Tying the colors back into his craftsmanship abilities. Smart. Oh, but I really do like this torso design. The shaping here is so clean. The way that these three armor pieces flow off of each other is just exceptional. There's also these 6 symbols on the torso. These are the Nuva symbols, of course. We see them popping up throughout the Bionicle story in a few different ways. But there's certainly no printed torso pieces that have these symbols on them. What are these? Well, these are custom stickers that Brandon was given at Brick Fair. It's a nice addition. Another nice addition are the lights on the torso. Yeah, this pop of blue that it creates is so mesmerizing. It's so exciting seeing a lot more builders start to play with lights on their Bionicle creations. You see it all the time now on system mocks at LEGO conventions. And Bionicle builders are starting to dip their toe into that. And it always looks good when they do. Now, if you're wondering where these lights came from, Brandon bought these at Brick Fair. They came from a store that's called Bling Bling Bricks. And actually, they have an Etsy store if you want to go buy some online. But if not, there's a bunch of other LEGO lighting companies out there, like Light My Bricks, for example. They sell custom lights that are very LEGO compatible. God, this looks so good. One last thing that Brandon bought at Brick Fair are these gunmetal and gold Ikimu masks. You'll notice that the mock switches between the two of them. And honestly, both of them look so good. But where do these come from in these colors? Well, old mate Zyantro sold Brandon these custom masks. And if you look closely, you can see that they don't have any of the runes on the top area of the mask, whereas the official ones, of course, do have those runes. Yeah, these custom masks appear in colors like gunmetal and a slightly different shade of gold to the official version of this mask. If you want to buy one of these runeless masks, they're for sale on Zyantro's website. And they're also incredibly cheap as well. I'll have a link to that store in the description below. Go and check it out. Ooh, I'm also so obsessed with this upper leg design. Using that nice greebled texture armor shell piece, and then placing these add-on parts onto both of those holes. Man, that totally transforms this piece. It's incredible. These gunmetal add-on parts, they actually came in a Monkey Kid set. They're hidden away on the engines here of this bad guy vehicle. It's a really great piece, and this is a really simple technique, but it's a really, really solid design. When we look at the back of these legs, it also looks pretty good, using some of these blaster pieces for armor. Nice touch. This piece appears on the blaster of a character like Breakout Bulk. It's cool, isn't it? The look of these parts perfectly fits the overall aesthetic of this mock. Dude, every square inch of this creation is so well made. I mean, even this foot design is sick. We see some of these 3x3 dark bluish grey dish elements. These system pieces always look good on Bionicle mocks. The texture as well as the shape of this piece, it pairs perfectly with CCBS and other Bionicle pieces. I mean, we see that right on display here. This rounds off the foot very well and helps transition it into the upper leg in a really nice way. If you don't own any of these parts, you should. A modern set that came out in 2024 includes this piece. You can see it on Hagrid's hut at the very top of the roof. Now, one last clever design, this big hammer. Of course, the master craftsman himself, he's gonna have a hammer weapon. Great move to use Firelord's mask for the head of the hammer. It's just a really nice part use. And I love little details like using these gold accent pieces that come on Lloyd's sword from Ninjago. Placing it at the base of the hilt of the hammer, beautiful finishing touch. Plus, just the greebled look of this weapon is just exceptional. It looks like an engine is built into it or something. Dude, this mock is without a doubt some of Brandon's best work. And seeing Artakha alongside all of Brandon's other Toa Mata mocks? Mate. I spent hours staring at these creations at Brick Fair this year. Everything Brandon makes is a true work of art. So well done, Brandon. You knocked it out of the park with this mock. Now, if you enjoyed taking a look at this and you want to see more of Brandon's work, then check out the links in the description below. I'll include all of his social media right there. So you better go and give him a like, a follow, and go comment on his stuff, letting him know what you think of his incredible creations. And trust me, you will not be disappointed when you see the other stuff that he's made. His other creations are just as good as this one, and some of the stuff that he still has to come, get ready, it's really good. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more mock spotlight videos showcasing individual creations that were on display at Brick Fair Virginia 2024. Thanks for watching, happy building, and bye for now.